Kanthapura, the first major Indian English novel, written by Raja Rao, an Indian American writer of English language novel and short stories. His best known novel is Kanthapura, which was written in 1929 and it was published in 1938. Kanthapura was influenced by Raja Rao's reading of Ignazio Silon Fontemara. According to K.R.S. Iyengar, who defined this novel as Gandhipuran because this novel is full of Gandhi ideologies. We can also call it a political novel. Raja Rao was very much influenced by Gandhiji, and his Kanthapura is an account of Gandhi's teaching. The main theme of the novel is freedom struggle of a village in Karnataka named Kanthapura. Raja Rao used India's ancient mythology in the story to evoke Indianness, and he has also shown us the importance of women in the society through his noble and caste system. The village Kanthapura was divided into two parts, and one part of upper classes and another part for parihas, like a scheduled caste. So the village Kanthapura, where caste system was at its peak, where the widows were frowned upon, in fact, a village full of superstitions where it was a sin to teach girls even. Now I'm going to explain some major characters of this novel in detail. I want to start with that character Kenchamma. The goddess Kenchamma, the symbol of power and good fortune. Thousands of years ago, who came from heaven and to fight against the evil. And after winning the battle, she stayed in the village with Kanthapura residents. And Murthy, the protagonist character of the novel, who belonged from a Brahmin family who went to city for studies, but after coming into contact with Gandhiji, Murthy was fascinated by him, and he returned to his village as a satyagrahi without complete his studies. He discarded foreign clothes, foreign books, and foreign everything. He went to everyone's court in the village and started preaching Gandhism. He also invited the women of the village to join this struggle. When Gandhi wrote an article, caste system has to go, that caste discrimination should be stopped because it's harmful for spiritual and national growth. And Murthy started preaching the same in his village as well. And since he was going against the caste system, villagers expelled him from Kanthapura. And later Murthy was arrested by Britishers for going against them and imprisoned for 3 months. Narsamma, Murthy's mother. She was not being able to tolerate this situation, died. Achakka, who was another experienced old woman of the Kanthapura village who belonged from a low caste and who is narrating the whole story actually. And his son, Sinu, who was Murthy's best friend and a strong supporter. Sinu joined Satyagrahi movement with Murthy and he was arrested by the Britishers and he was in jail till the end of the novel. Ramakrishnaya, who was an educated and quite respectable gentleman of the village. He had two daughters, Rangamma and Kamalamma. Rangamma, who was an independent and educated woman in the village who daily reads newspaper, but she was a widow who helped Murthy in many ways. When villagers expelled him from Kanthapura, Murthy lived in Rangamma's house. Rangamma also inspired other women in the village to be satyagrahi and also used to talk about Rani Lakshmi Bai and Sarojini Naidu to inspire other women in the village. Later she was arrested by the Britishers. Rangamma's sister Kamalamma, who never wanted to be in the trouble of all of the struggles movement, her only intention was to marry off his widowed daughter Ratna. Ratna, she is also very independent minded. She does not care about society. Her current age is 15. She was married at the age of 10, but after the death of her husband, she stays with her mother Kamalamma. And when her aunt Rangamma was arrested by Britishers, Ratna did her aunt's Putanamma, who was raped by the British during this uprising movement. Jaya Ramachar, a famed Harikatha man, who was fascinated by Gandhi and a strong supporter of Murthy, who propagated Gandhism through his mythology. He compared Gandhi as Lord Rama, motherland with Sita, and Britishers with Ravana. After the death of Jai Ramachar, Rachna, who was doing his job and who was arrested who was arrested by Britishers, and Sita Rama, who lived in the city and by profession he was a lawyer. After the death of his wife, he never married again. He used to convey all the news of Murthy to the villagers. Patil Range Kaura was the primary executive officer and was also known as the tiger of the village. He was the head He was the head of the village actually. People fears him, also respects him. He was also fascinated by Gandhi and supported Murthy. But when Britishers came to know about his Gandhism, dismissed him from his job. Bhatta was actually a British agent, a clever businessman. He behaves very politely with the people, but people also borrowed money from him, but he charged high interest. He was against Murthy and his Gandhism, and later the villagers burnt his house. Bare Khan, who was a government employee, he was sent to Kanthapura village to keep an eye on Murthy and other villagers also, but he was in trouble. Since caste system was at its peak in the village Kanthapura, and being a Muslim, he was not sheltered anywhere in the village. At last he took shelter in Mr. Scaffington's coffee estate. And Mr. Scaffington, who was a very brutal person, he used to torture his employees like Siddha and Rachna brutally. And after the death of Mr. Scaffington, his nephew took the responsibility of his coffee estate. This man was not like his uncle, but who brutally tortured his employees, but he used other women of the village for his own satisfaction. That was all the major characters of this novel we should know about. And at the end of the novel, the Kanthapura village was totally burned by the Britishers. And all the people who took shelter at Kashipura village near Kanthapura.